Hello, this is Nikki Zick and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some mixed medium of colored pencils and watercolor, and we're going to be doing this single wildflower that I just did on a 5x7 postcard. It's using watercolor techniques mostly for the flower and water-soluble colored pencil for the detail that diffused out, and then I used just the colored pencil to make this lovely ombre of blue to green in the background. So here we go. Let's prop up our reference. I have a pad ready to go, and first we start off with the petals of the flower, and then we go in with our colored pencil while it's wet and do the details. So right now I'm working with a medium pink on the lighter side, and we're doing it, the paint is more watery than creamy because I don't want it to be too opaque when I paint it. I would like to have some sheerness to it. So we're going to go with our first petal, and it doesn't have to be exact. It's an imaginary flower in Nikki's garden. So also leave a center for our yellow. Okay, maybe we're making it a 6 petal today. You never know. Your paintbrush sometimes has a mind of its own. Let me make this one a little bit thicker. Okay, now the paint's wet. We're going to go in with my Carmen red colored pencil and just start with the petal that we began with and just draw in some detail lines. Go around the perimeter of your leaf, your petal. Here in the center, do some accents. And once again, around, you could do the whole petal and give the whole petal some veining. Just go back and forth between the petals. Actually try to stay with the ones you did first and painted, because those will be the petals that'll be more wet. And as you see here, there's some water and the paint, just the colored pencil turns into paint. That's what I wanted to say. Here again, there's more water, so the colored pencil turns right into paint and you're painting with the colored pencil. There's also another technique of dipping your colored pencil in water and then painting with it. As you see here, I added a shadow. Once again, dip your colored pencil that's water soluble into the paint water, clean water, and you can gradually shade with your wet colored pencil. Okay, I think that's enough shading right now. We're going to go in with a yellow center using a brilliant yellow. This could be more on the opaque side, and just dab it in. We'll go back to it in a little while and add the black. So now we're going to add the green stem. We're going to use a medium green. I'm using my round brush just for the stem. And then we'll go in with our dagger for the leaves. So this composition will be a little different than what we have in our photo reference. But that's fine. That's what art's all about. Like I had once said in one of my videos, no two artworks that I make are the same. It's very hard to duplicate, especially an impressionistic floral, which I do sometimes, well, quite often, and it's very hard. Well, I don't even try to duplicate. I make each artwork its own. Okay, as you see, I added green. Maybe we'll make it more on the wet side. The stem goes into the flower, comes out to the leaf. Okay, now we're going to add a medium green pencil. It's very small, but it still does the trick. And while my paint is wet, I'm going to go in and add details. You could do some scratchy lines. Here the paint is more wet. You could go up some scratchy lines. You could do veining. At the bottom, you could come out with some paint from the colored pencil. And as you see, once again, we'll dip our pencil and we'll color with it. We'll paint with it actually. Again, we'll dip it in the water. We'll come over here, add some darks to this leaf, some veining. Okay, and then we're done with that colored pencil. Now we'll go in with our black, and I think our yellow is still a little wet. So we'll go around the perimeter of the yellow just with some short pencil lines. And you can go into the edges of little where the separations of the petals are, because we're going to turn this all into paint in a minute. Okay, now we're going to go in with our smaller round brush. Not too much paint because this is a delicate area and it's black. So here we go. We're just going with a delicate paintbrush, just with water, and going into the center of our flower and diluting the black. You can pull it out to the edge, okay. Now we're going to go into our background. For our background, I started at the bottom with our grass green that we used for our flower. And you do a slight diagonal sketch mark. You could press as hard or as light as you want. You'll get to know your colored pencils and how much pressure after you start using with them. Here I'm going into the center of the flower, coming out. I'm also going to use an apple green colored pencil. So I have two variations going to go up the side and back down and mix the two greens. I had the grass green and now I'm mixing apple green in with the grass green to give it more interest than just the grass green. We'll go up more with the grass green into the flower, back down underneath the flower. I'm actually doing it, pressing a little hard because I want a lot of contrast on this page. And now we're going to go into a deep blue on the right side. Going to have it darker, and then the light side will go into a sky blue. With the deep blue, we'll do half the page, and down the side, mixing into the green. Okay, then we'll go into a lighter blue for the sky. And as you see, I'm doing a diagonal pencil sketch going into the flower, mixing in with the other blue, dark blue that we just had, going down the side. Okay, now we're going to go with a larger round brush and start with the grass. So start with the yellows, well, not with the grass, with the greener side. And we start with the light and gently go in and melt your pencil lines with the paintbrush. You can leave some of the sketch marks, which I think is nice because someone will see that it is a mixed media artwork and not just a colored pencil or not just a watercolor painting. But it's really a fun art material to work with. I recommend getting a set. It doesn't have to be an expensive set of colored pencils and some watercolor paints, and you could just go right away and have some fun. And here we go into the blue, and you see how vibrant it is. That's also because I put a lot of pressure of blue colored pencil on the paper. So we're going to go gingerly around the flowers. I have a lot of water on my brush. Go lighter with the water. And now we're going to go in the sky blue and just go gently into the, clean your brush, go into the sky blue, blend it down into the green. And now this looks a little heavy, just lighten it up. Could look like clouds. Mix it more with the green, blend it down. It's nice to have different tones. As you see, this is very wet right now, so it might look much darker than my original reference piece, but this will dry lighter and have the same soft feeling as the reference piece. So I think we're finished. So here is our wildflower done in mixed medium of colored pencil that are water soluble and watercolor paints. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. Once again, it's Nikki Zick. Thank you. Bye-bye.